Okay, let's take a look at Chem 11 sample exam 2 number 6 now. This one asks us to identify reducing and oxidizing agent in the following reaction. And so for this question, you're going to need to remember your definition of reducing and oxidizing agent. A reducing agent is a reactant that causes another reactant to be reduced, which means that it has to contain elements that are oxidized. The oxidizing agent, reactant that contains elements that are reduced. Okay? So to find both of these guys, then we're going to need to look at our reactants, which is these two guys right here, As2O3 and NO3 minus, and then identify whether they contain elements that are oxidized or reduced. So let's write out these species right here, As2O3. And to figure out whether they're oxidized or reduced, the elements, we have to look at the oxidation numbers, right? So As2O3, remember that our oxygen is going to be -2 in this case, so we got -6, and so this has to be +6 to balance that out. So that means that each arsenic is going to be +3. Okay, so the oxidation numbers are circled there on the top. And now the species that contains arsenic is this species right here. So let's work that out again. Remember that hydrogen is +1, oxygen is -2. We got +3 at the bottom, -8. Tells me that the AS has to be +5 to balance that out. So if you look at what happens to AS as it goes from +3 to +5, that element has been oxidized. Okay? So if the element has been oxidized, that means that As2O3, which is the reactant, must be our reducing agent. Okay? And then we can, of course, then simply conclude that the other reactant, NO3 minus, must be our oxidizing agent in this case. So oxidizing agent NO3, reducing agent As2O3. Now you can work this out if you want. So if you write out NO3 minus, you'll find that oxygen again is -2, -6 here, so +5 on the nitrogen, and then NO on the product side, you got -2, and so this must be +2. So what's happened to the nitrogen here is that it has reduced it's been reduced because its oxidation number decreases. Okay, so that tells you that NO3 minus, which is the reactant, is going to be our oxidizing agent. Okay.